Even though we kept things pretty quiet throughout the course of the day, there is no denying once again we got to put up with another hot day across the area. If there's any positives when we look at the past 36-hour temperature trend, at least from Joplin Regional's perspective, at least we didn't get back into the mid-90s like we saw the other day. Still, it was a bit of quite a mild start rather to the day, with overnight lows dropping back into the lower to middle 70s. This time around though, not a lot of humidity, but it was enough to send us back into the lower 90s this afternoon. Most of us around 91, 92 degrees, but at least after sunset, it looks nice from 7th and Rangeline, and we have seen these numbers drop off after sunset. We're at 78 now in Joplin, dew point at 60, just enough to make it feel only a degree warmer. Thankfully, those numbers will cooperate and give us a break from the heat and the mugginess as we go through the overnight. Most of us are in the mid 70s to about the lower 80s. You could argue a couple spots already near 70 around Table Rock Lake and Stockton Lake, but you factor in the humidity. Some of us, it still feels like we're either around 80 or in the mid 80s, even at the 10 o'clock hour late on this Sunday night. Fortunately, unlike last night, we're not tracking any potent thunderstorms that tried to hold on during the very early morning hours. That system faded away. All that we see at the surface is a surface high, keeping that light south wind in place, and our next cold front trying to make a play in our forecast off to the west of the region. That won't come into play until a couple of days from now. But the big picture upstairs shows the upper level ridge regaining control. That may start to buckle down deep in the extended forecast, and I'll show you how that could play out, but not before we take a look at the next few days. We're thankfully quiet through the course of the overnight, mostly clear skies, the relatively dry air mass in place, and the light south breeze means we'll continue to drop off throughout the course of the night, ultimately back near 66 degrees as we get your Monday morning commute started. We keep things nice and dry throughout the day, but it's going to mean a quick warm up once again with that light south breeze and enough dry air relatively in place. Quickly up to 86 by noon. Joplin topping out at 91 for tomorrow afternoon. In fact, you can argue lower 90s, if not around 91 for the entire area as we get the new work week off on a hot but quiet note. Just enough humidity for tomorrow, though, that it could feel like the mid-90s during the peak heating of the afternoon. Not outrageous numbers, but something to keep in mind if you have any outdoor plans. We'll get a bit of a break with lows back in the 70s on Tuesday morning and then right back near the triple digits as surface highs, your actual air temperatures, will return to the mid-90s with this upper ridge in control on Tuesday. This ridge gets shunted back to the south just enough to allow that cold front out west to give us some scattered thunderstorm chances on Wednesday, isolated storms on Thursday, but that doesn't scrub out the heat. In fact, the upper ridge returns by Friday and Saturday to push us into the upper 90s. But once we go into Saturday night, Sunday, a stronger system coming in squashes that ridge, and I think that will be enough to give us a temporary break from the heat by early next week. 91 tomorrow, 95 Tuesday. We stay in the low to mid 90s through Thursday, upper 90s again Bronte Friday and Saturday. But look at early next week behind Sunday's system. This fits Doug's pattern, but it's going to be a short-lived break from the heat. But lows near 60 Monday and Tuesday morning of next week, lower to middle 80s. But once we hit Wednesday, that ridge and the heat is going to start building back in.
All right, well, at least we get a little bit of relief before it kicks back up again.
Yeah, if the forecast holds, that is on the horizon. We just have to be patient.
All right. Thanks, Nick.